Hello and welcome, and this is one of the best cars in Gran Turismo 7. Now I say that a lot, but this is not an exaggeration. This is the Honda RA272. Now this is a Formula 1 car from back in the day, and oh my word, is it making an impact in Gran Turismo 7 right now. So this car came out with update 1.29 to the game, and you would think, okay, it's a classic Formula 1 vehicle. What's so great about it? Firstly, the handling of this vehicle. There's no other driving experience like it in the game. This car is incredibly tricky to drive. For example, if you jump in and you just think, oh, this is going to be plain sailing like most of the other vehicles in Gran Turismo 7, you are going to be incredibly confused when you find yourself launched into the air after trying to take clipping points. Even the McLaren 4-4, whatever, you know that Formula 1 car we got a while ago? Yeah, that has nothing on this. Yes, this car is highly unstable, but that's just what adds to the fun of the whole experience. Firstly, this car has a 1.5 liter engine that produces over 200 brake horsepower. The car only weighs 400 plus kgs, so it is extremely lightweight and it has decent power. And this is a car standard. Now you can add power to that, but we'll do that in a bit. Now the F1 car, the Honda RA272. This car, the brakes are a bit sketchy, which I would think is authentic to an old F1 vehicle. The power is just there. The minute you put your foot down, it is reacting and you're getting pushed forward. That has to be authentic to an old F1 car. It's just such a raw, authentic experience when you are behind the wheel of the Honda RA272. Now, as I said a minute ago, the brakes are sketchy. You coming up to a corner, you think, okay, I have to brake now. In a modern car, that's where you brake. However, in this, you need to brake a lot earlier. Now, sometimes you brake a lot earlier and then the car will not want to be slowing down. Then the next lap, you brake in that same spot and the car comes to a dead halt before the corner even arrives. It's such a unique experience that really keeps you on your edge when you're driving this vehicle, because you don't know what to expect. Is the car gonna slow down in time? Or are you gonna make it around a corner? Then sometimes when you're going around a corner and you're carrying too much speed and you're still trying to accelerate, the understeer that this vehicle produces is actually criminal. But that's the thing, the car, once you get a sort of handle on it, is incredible. And then there's still your chance to upgrade it. And when I say upgrade it, there isn't actually much you can do to it. The only thing you can actually do to it is add a transmission, change your tires, and add a high RPM turbocharger. But I mean, hey, that's all you need, because when you do, it adds 200 more brake horsepower, making this car almost a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio. And that's all it needs. But one thing you need to pay close attention to is this car's performance points. With the application of racing soft tires, the performance points hit 709. So if you change that over to racing hards, you will be under 700 performance points, which means you can use this car in different money grinding events. For example, the World Touring costs 700 around Le Mans. If you put this car on fuel map 6, you will absolutely dominate the competition. You do not have to worry, because this car, with it being on fuel map 6, it can go on a no pit strategy. If it doesn't rain, you do not need to go into a pit. All you have to do is really just monitor your tires, because if it's on fuel map 6, you will get 10 laps worth of fuel out of this vehicle. And it's only a 7-lap event maximum. You will not go more than it, which means you will still have 3 laps of fuel remaining. And when it comes to straight lines, don't think, oh no, now that it's on fuel map 6, the car is just going to be completely restricted, like for example a Group 3 vehicle. this car has incredible top end speed, with it being on fuel map 6, being able to do over 300 kilometers per hour. Look at how I'm blowing past that AI, and it actually does 330 kilometers per hour. Okay, look, I didn't need to brake and I didn't, but I got distracted by how fast this car actually goes. Now, one thing I do need to mention is the fact that this car has 0 downforce. Coming up to this corner, I will be able to take it flat out in a group 3, group 4, even a group 1 vehicle. However, in this, I went flying off circuit. I had such an enormous gap over the person in second place that I was able to sit at the finish line with more than 2 minutes still remaining in the race because of how large the gap was between us. And I was able to finish the race with still 3.5 laps of fuel remaining. So that just goes to show you how extremely light on fuel this car actually is. And the car might actually bring you some luck. So this is now my new go-to when it comes to a money grinding vehicle. It's extremely lightweight, light on fuel, very powerful. It's just everything you need. Now, if there is one adjustment I would recommend you doing to this vehicle, is making the suspension a bit harder. Now, if you actually go on over to the car's settings and you take a look at the suspension, then you will see everything is set in the middle. So the car is very bouncy, there's a lot of body roll. So what I did was I took everything and I just maxed it out. I made it as stiff as possible because I don't really think F1 cars need to have a lot of body roll. And after I did this, it helped out a lot. Now this car can also be used in human comedy events. Now that's the 1 hour endurance race that you will find in missions. This car dominates the L6 and deep forest events. With deep forest, it makes up most of its time on the straightaway because of the immense power that this car produces. So this car, in my opinion, is one of the most useful cars to own in Gran Turismo 7. Now, it is currently 2.5 million credits, which may seem off-putting to you, or you might think to yourself, I'm never gonna use this vehicle. However, there are so many places and opportunities for you to use this vehicle, and trust me, that 2.5 million credits will come back to you tenfold. This car is incredible to drive, fun to own, and is such a blast. It's one of the best cars added to Gran Turismo 7, and look at this, it can't do that. I mean, I'd pay 3 million for this vehicle if I'm honest with you, but you need to go and pick up the Honda RA272 if you don't already own it. So with all this being said, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.